Here's our motivational interviewing protocol for counseling someone for tobacco cessation. And this protocol is organized by the 4 processes of motivational interviewing. You begin the conversation with engaging, and here are some suggestions for what to say. Hello, Miss Jones. My name is Nick. I'm a health coach. Your doctor, Dr. Anders, referred you for smoking. Do you have a few minutes to talk to me about that? You're then asking permission to audio record the session. Before we go further, I just wanted to ask if it's all right if I audio record our session. This will only be shared with my trainer so he can give me feedback so I can be a better coach, and it will help me review what we covered so I can prepare if you want to follow up. You're then moving to focusing. Suggestion for what to say. What's a typical day like for you when it comes to your smoking? This is an open question, and you would follow it with reflections. And you're exploring what a person's current use of tobacco, how it fits into their life currently. You're then transitioning to evoking. The suggestions for what to say are to start with what the person likes about their smoking, and to reflect what information they share with you, and then to ask what they don't like about their smoking. So at this point, you've collected their thoughts about smoking, both the pros and cons, and you can provide a summary where you're highlighting and emphasizing their reasons for not liking smoking. Then you're moving to evoking importance, and you're using the readiness ruler. How important is it for you to quit smoking? 1 being not at all important and 10 being extremely important. Let's say they say I'm a 5. You're going to follow up with a question that asks, why are you at a 5 and not at a 3 or a 2? And you're listening for them to give you the reasons for it being important, and you're reflecting what they've told you. You're then asking, how confident are you that if you did decide to stop smoking, you would be successful? 1 being not at all confident and 10 being extremely confident. Let's say they give you a 7. You're asking, why are you at a 7 and not at a 5 or not at a 6? Again, this is asking them to give you their reasons for, or the reasons they have to be confident in their ability to quit smoking. Next, you're asking, if you did decide to quit, how would you go about it to be successful? So here this is like how you do your information exchange, where you're asking them what they already know about ways to be successful, and you're reflecting how they answer. You're next going to ask permission to share information, part of the elicit, provide, elicit format. This is the elicit, the first elicit. Would it be okay if I shared with you some things that have worked for others? You're then going to present the brochure that you'll have that has information that's useful for people who are interested in quitting smoking. And it's useful to talk very little and just to say, here's some information, take a minute to look at it, and tell me what you think. So you're, instead of reading out the brochure to them, asking them to find what they find applicable or helpful, and then asking them to share with you what they have learned, and reflecting their responses. So you're then asking, so you're asking them what they think of the brochure, and here you're transitioning to planning. So this is called a recapitulation and key question, where you sum up all of the flowers of change talk, all of the reasons and their confidence that change is possible, and asking them hypothetically what they might do. We discussed the possibility of you quitting smoking, and you said it's important to you because smoking is really expensive, and you don't like how it affects your breathing, and you wanted to avoid lung cancer, you said. You also said that you're confident you'd be able to quit if you decided to, because you were able to lose weight, or you were able to graduate from college, and so you know that when you set your mind to something, you'll be successful. And you think you'll be successful if you use a nicotine patch. So here you're bringing in what their ideas were for how they would be successful and what suggestions they found applicable in the brochure. And so that was your recapitulation, your summary of their reasons for change, their confidence in change, and their ideas of how change would be possible. And you're asking now this key question. Now, after all we discussed, what do you think you might do? So at this point, they might not be ready to take a first step. But if they are, you then get into the work of planning. And you can ask and help them identify a first step. What's the first step you plan to take? And identify a timeline for when they would plan to take it. You can ask them what might get in the way of their success and what they could do to meet this challenge. And then you can arrange follow-up if they think it would be helpful. Would it be helpful to you if I called you in a week to see how it's going? You're thinking about the SMART goal mnemonic, how to make the goal specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And most importantly, what you're doing is giving them the opportunity to express their intentions to another person, which in itself increases the likelihood of them actually acting on their plan.